What is happening, people, and welcome to this rainy Monday morning where I'm going to try to fill you guys in on where I've been for this last little stretch, as well as give you guys a quick medical update, trying to give you guys an idea of what is going on there. So let's start out with where I've been. If you guys hadn't noticed, there's been a little bit of radio silence, and that is because inexplicably for about 2 weeks, virtually every single day, big trees, like big live trees, have been snapping in half and falling all over my property. I have absolutely no idea what is going on, but literally every single time that I clean one up, it seems like there's a really loud noise and there is another one to deal with. And we're not talking about little trees here. We're talking like 24 to like 30-inch diameter trees snapping off like 3/4 of the way down. Now, some of these have fallen across my driveway, some have fallen in the trails, some have fallen in my property, but every single one has needed work and needed to be dealt with. Now, to compound on top of that, we had some family coming into our property for the first time from out of town, and we wanted to put our best foot forward, so there was a lot of landscaping, and I've been trying to clear out all the trails because they wanted to come and go hiking and things like that. However, it seemed like every single time that I made some progress, another tree would fall in the middle of the trail and I'd need to deal with that. So eventually I accepted the fact that it just wasn't all going to get done and things were going to be how they were, but it ended up being a great time and it was just awesome. However, the radio silence was needed because the world was exploding everywhere around me. It's terrible. Now, for the medical update, this was actually something that I didn't plan on doing. However, I'm doing a lot of coaching calls with many of you, which I've absolutely loved. I really, they're probably my most favorite thing that's going on right now with coaching, because I get to meet so many of you and we have such interesting conversations. So you guys are interested in that, make sure you email me at NEVERsate@gmail.com, because it has been an absolute blast. But to a person, every single one of you has asked me how my health is, and you guys want to know why I'm still throwing up. You guys are like, hey man, I thought you like got cured. Like what, why are you still throwing up? So I just want to cover that really quickly. For those of you who do not know, for the past couple years, I've suffered from something called schistosomiasis, which is a parasite, essentially worms in your body. This is a disease that I got from my old counterterrorism job. At some point, some part of my body was in water where worms literally swam through my skin and got into my body and made me very sick. So sick, in fact, that at its worst, I was throwing up 30 to 50 times a day. It's basically like flu symptoms. I would have fevers, chills, aches, like not seizures, but like I can't control my body temperature correctly. Like there's a lot that goes on with this, and I've been cured of it, right? It's a very common disease in other countries. In fact, it actually kills 240,000 people a year in Africa alone. So this is something that is dealt with all over the world. However, it's not something that's really dealt with much in America, and that's why it took so long for people to realize what was going on with me. However, once they did figure it out, I did get the correct pills. I do not have worms or parasites any longer. However, they easily could have been in my body for over a decade, and they did a lot of damage. Now, I've had a ton of brain scans and a lot of treatments and a lot of things done that have helped a ton. However, some damage was done, and just like with any trauma, whether it be physical, mental, anything, it's going to take time. Now, as I said, at its worst, I was throwing up or retching, like dry heaving, 30 to 50 times a day, every single day, and that was for a long stretch. Now, my last medical update, I guess, probably close to a year ago, I was down to throwing up only like 3 to 5 times a day. And now these days, I'm probably throwing up only 1 to 3, I'd say. Now I have some horrendous days where I throw up pretty much all day long and can't get my stomach under control. And I had one of those days yesterday, right? So that happens. However, I do have some really good days where I might only throw up 1 time or sometimes none, and I can just live almost like a normal life. So it is getting better and better and better, and I am just so thankful for it every single day. However, while those worms were inside me, they did do a good bit of damage, and it like completely changed my brain. So much, in fact, that when I was in the depth of the disease, when it was at its worst, my brain literally changed. There was stuff that I'd never struggled with in my life. Like my entire life, I've never had a fear of heights, ever. Right? No problem whatsoever. However, when I was at my worst on the disease, I would have trouble going up like a 6-foot tall step ladder. I struggled with claustrophobia when the disease was really bad, which was actually rough because the thing that cured me the most out of anything from the disease is hyperbaric chambers. Now, I'm not talking about the little tent that like Tom Brady sleeps in at night. These are actual like tubes where it's like a submarine. They put you in and they have to like crank it down, and if you freak out inside that tube, they can't just open the door and let you out, or else you'll get the bends. They literally need to depressurize your body, so it takes like 10 minutes of you completely spazzing out. And I was struggling with claustrophobia, which again, I had never dealt with really that much in my life. However, when I was in the depth of the disease, it was taking over my head. I was having like panic attacks. I was having some rough times mentally. So through all of that though, the hyperbaric chamber, I ended up doing it every single day for a couple months. It ended up healing up my brain a lot. I stopped being afraid of heights. I stopped struggling so much, claustrophobia, panic attacks, things like that. And I started healing and started feeling better. So over time, my physical health has been getting better slowly, and I hope one day that I'll actually live like a normal life without any throwing up whatsoever. However, I do need to talk about the other side of the coin, which is my mental health, right? Because physical health is one thing, mental health is the other, and it's something that doesn't really get talked about, so I am going to get a little bit vulnerable here. So pretty much I've been dealing with chronic illness. I still deal with it every single day, and I've been dealing with it for, I don't know, probably like at least 5 years now. And it's like having the flu, right? Like now it's like I have the flu much less, but at its worst, it was like having the flu every single day. You guys have dealt with that, like being nauseous, throwing up all day, having aches, fevers, can't control your body temperature, like it's miserable, right? Like do that for years. That plus my insomnia, plus adding on Lyme disease multiple times over the past 2 years. There's a lot that goes into it. So to be honest with you guys, I struggle with anger, I struggle with anxiety, and I struggle with depression sometimes. It's not things that I always deal with, and it's not like I'm being a fake individual, but guys, I struggle with things the same way that everyone else struggles with things. So now I'm not only trying to get better physically, but I'm also trying to mend some of those mental wounds, not only to myself, but to other people in the relationships. Because like I said, this disease changed me a lot, and it's changed who I am completely, right? Like I said, I was literally afraid of heights, never been afraid in my life, but there have been times in this where I literally wasn't myself, wasn't acting myself. So I haven't always been the nicest guy. I haven't always treated people the way they deserve to be treated, and I've been angry and snapped at people and people that didn't deserve it. So I've literally been trying to go through almost like a 12-step program and just say I'm sorry to so many different people in my life that I've hurt that didn't deserve, because just basically I was feeling really crummy, and I took it out on the people around me sometimes. So I'm going through trying to do that and trying to really heal myself mentally and going through a lot of work on that side. And as I'm feeling better mentally, then that also helps me feel like training more and taking care of myself more, as well as making more videos. And that's why it's kind of been a little bit more. So it's all starting to come full circle, and it's all healing. But to say that it isn't like a holistic approach would be nonsense, right? Like there is a lot of physical stuff that's going on that I'm trying to get better at, but the mental side is really where the battle is being fought for me currently, because not only am I just trying to get over the disease, but I'm also trying to get over the anger from just like everything that, I don't know, it feels like I lost stuff, or there's a lot of emotions tied into being sick for a very long time. Okay, so that is enough rambling, guys. Look, I am getting better physically, I am getting better mentally, and that means that I am enjoying lifting more, doing the videos more, in my life more. It's just been great. And the only reason why you guys weren't getting a bunch of videos over the last 2 weeks, because things like this were happening literally every single day. So hopefully this stops, I'll be able to get more videos out to you guys, and it all is going to go well. So I do thank you guys so much for all of your support, for all of your time, for absolutely everything. And guys, like I love that I can be vulnerable on the channel, and I mean, some people will be completely turned off by that and turn away, while other people, it will help you. So I just hope this does help you, but this is honest, this is real, this is me, and I hope in some way it helps you along your journey. So I will catch you guys later in the week. Until I do, go out to something amazing in your lives. Keep working hard, people. Be nice to each other. I'll see you then.